Welcome you legends back to another video, and today we're doing a career mode save on Saint Etienne. Saint Etienne is one of French football's most decorated clubs, and they sit just 2 titles behind PSG for the most titles won in French football. On top of that, they are a serious threat in the mid-70s, getting to a semi-finals, finals and quarter-finals of the Champions League. So today we're going to make Saint Etienne the most decorated club in France, meaning we need 1 Champions League to equal Marseille, and we need to win as many league titles as it takes to overtake Paris Saint-Germain. So if they win 3 more, we need 6. So jumping straight in, this is the team. I've moved it around a little bit to work out where I want players and where I don't. And we're going to look at trying to sell players, get rid of all the aging players so we can start to build a really nice youthful squad that will grow and be ready to take on PSG as soon as possible. And we only have about 8.6 million to work with initially. Of course, we get player sales on top of that. And there were a lot of player sales to work with. We got rid of 10 players. This is the most brutal transfer window I have ever done. So let's jump into it and see the turnarounds in this team. Firstly, we got rid of Mufake for 2.8 million. Batubinska went out for 2.2. Mouton went out for 2 million. Tardieu, we got rid of him for 1.7 million. Aiki went out for 1.5 million. Appiah went out for 1.4 million. Petro went out for 1.4 million. Wadji went out for 790k. Monconduit went out for 630k. And Maublu went out for 290k. And so after all that movement, we had a lot of money to spend. We got busy bringing in 9 new players to freshen up the team. Firstly, we picked up Pizzi Nyako for 1.3 million to rotate as our goalkeeper. We picked up Amani for 1.8 million. He's going to be our rotational centre mid this season if we need him. We also picked up Kriskiv, a Ukrainian centre mid, for 1.9 million. He's going to go into the starting lineup for us. We picked up a new holding mid with Mateus Pereira for 2.2 million. We also picked up a new centre-back from newly promoted Ipswich Town. Luke Wolfenden will be coming in for 2.4 million. We picked up a young and talented centre-mid who we plan on starting in Tom Bischoff, 2.5 million for the talented German. We also picked up Eric from Al Ain, 2.8 million for the left-back. Mujaid came in from Genk, 2.8 million for the centre-back. The Spaniard is going to really bolster our defence. And then Kitolano, a centre-mid, but we're going to convert him out to a right-back for 3.3 million, which will see us now complete our team. And then finally, the final piece of business is a Mugu going out on loan for a year to Alaves. And so after the craziest transfer window I've ever had in any of my career mode saves, this is the team. It's a complete revamp. We do have our front 3 staying the same. The goalkeeper is in position as normal, but everyone else is new, an entire new midfield and defence. The gamble of so much rotation has slightly paid off. We're in the top 4 already. I'm not saying that's where we're going to end up, but right now this is incredible. We've only lost 1. We have drawn 5, so maybe they could tilt the other way here or there. But we're in a fantastic position. 17 points after 10 games is an incredible start. And we are not the only ones having a great season. Erling Haaland picks up the 2024 Ballon d'Or. And sadly, after the 10-game mark, our season derailed a little. We only picked up 1 win since then, 2 draws, losing all of the rest. So things really leveled out at this point. We are in 8th, which is still a fantastic position. Don't get me wrong, this is a lot higher than I thought I'd be right now. But the real happy thing that I'm looking at here, whatever happens this season, we're going to grow our team. But PSG are 13 points off top, meaning that trophy tally could still stay at 3, which will be huge. And so moving into the second half of the season, this is our team. There was no movement in the January window, so this is what we're sticking with. We've got about £927 in our bank account, so there's no choice but to not move in the market. This is the team though, very happy. Hopefully they can continue to grow in the second half of the season, but really impressed with the first half. And so we moved into the second half of the season and we just kind of leveled off. We finished mid-table, we finished in 9th, we held our own. 44 points is the final tally. We're about 12 points off the Conference League and about 14 points off relegation. So very average season as things go. but really happy that we've solidified our place in the league. Now we can look to grow on that in season 2. And when it comes to individuals, Stassen had a year, 20 goals in 34 games, 1 goal off the golden boot. I mean, he's like 71 rated or something, so he has outrageously outperformed himself. That's an incredible year. We also had goals coming in from the right side with Cafaro. He done well with 11, and also Davitashvili came in with 9 for the season. And our main assist leader, Chris Skiv, came in with 6, finished 13th in the league in total, but it looks like the assists were shared around the team, but he is the league leader for us, at least, in this one. And La Sonnière finished with 8 clean sheets, so 6th in the league. Con had a fantastic year with 15. No one was catching that. But a really good season either way from our goalkeeper. And now to recap the rest of the season. PSG win the Coupe de France with a 3-2 win versus Lille in the final. Real Madrid win 3-0 versus AC Milan to win the Champions League. Fenerbahce win 1-0 versus Porto to win the Europa League. And Chelsea beat Fiorentina 2-0 to win the Conference League. And now the main thing to check, did PSG win another title? Do we have to go and get an extra piece of silverware? Let's have a look. They finished in 3rd, some way 9 points off of the league leaders Monaco. So we're still at just 3 league titles right now. We need to get towards them as quickly as possible so we don't increase that number. But that is it, a season done. No more silverware needed so far. So just 3 league titles and a Champions League to go. Really happy with the progression. Let's jump into season 2 and see what we can do. So moving into season 2, this is the team. There's been a few good improvements, a few players that have let me down a little bit. So we're going to address that in the transfer window. We're going to really go for it by upgrading our right winger this season and potentially be looking to bring in a new right back. Kitolano just didn't do a lot last season for us. And our current budget is just 13.7 million to work with this season. And so we got straight to work raising as much money as possible. Firstly, we got rid of Bouchouari, a rotational centre mid for us. We didn't actually want to get rid of him, but he did submit a transfer request. We got 3.1 million for him in his transfer to LAFC. We also got rid of Miladinovic, a young left winger. He's a centre attacking mid, but we converted him, and he just wasn't going to get any game time, so to pick up a mil for him is really good. Cafaro went out for 4.3 million. He was a key player last season. He's gone to Wolves. We didn't really want to get rid of him, but we really wanted to upgrade that right wing slot, so he's gone out. Macon, our rotational right back, has gone out. That means Kitolano will drop to the bench and we're bringing a new right back this season. We were able to pick up 3 million for him, and then someone we had out on loan last year, Cisse. We got rid of him for 630k this summer just because he was never going to be used. And so we got to work in the transfer market to buy 2 impressive new players to really strengthen the squad. Firstly, we filled the right wing spot with Mastan Tawonu, a £9.4 million signing for a young Argentinian centre attacking mid. We've converted him to a right wing, and he's really going to fit the bill for what we need on that side. And then to back him up to complete an entire new right hand side, Archie Gray comes in from Tottenham. We're going to convert him fully to a right back, 10.5 million for the Englishman, and that will see some major upgrades to our team. And so after an incredible window and a bit of growth in the team, this is how we look. A lot more 75s in the team, a couple of 76s, working around that young talent. This is a really good foundation to go and build from. But we have that worry in the back of our mind that PSG might go and win a title. These guys need to improve as soon as possible. And so after the first 11 games, here we are in 7th, which is a slight improvement from last year. PSG currently sits in 2nd, 5 points off top. So if Marseille can keep up this form, I will be very happy. But let's jump into the rest of the first half of the season and see what sort of damage we can do. And someone that's been doing some damage is Vinicius Jr., a 2025 Ballon d'Or winner. It's always him or Haaland in the first 2 years. Never an upset, is there? And Lucas Stassen is top of the scorers list, but not only that, he's averaging more than a goal a game. How is he doing this at 72 rated? And so at the halfway stage, here we are, still holding our own in 7th, doing very well. 25 points means we are just 3 points off the Conference League, 6 points off the Champions League and Europa League, and then obviously looking at the other end of the table, the relegation playoffs, all the way down 12 points back. So we're doing a lot better to be higher up the table towards the top end and moving away from that dangerous area of the relegation zones. And Stassen has slowed up a little. He's no longer over a goal a game, but at 14 goals in the first half of the season, that is an incredible start. If he continues that on, being close to 30 goals for the year, that is impressive. And so after a not so busy January window where absolutely nothing happened, we're going to wrap up the squad like this, keep it going the way we have been already. Really starting to see some growth. Gray popping up a couple of times. Eric is improving. Majade is improving. We have had a couple of emails about players stunting their progression, so Lassonniere and Wolfenden aren't going to grow so much, but we'll continue to use them as our base team for now, and we'll look to see if we can build on those later on. And so come the end of the season, I'm very happy, but we have good news and bad news. The good news, we're finishing the Conference League. We're 5th, so we've improved from last season, and we're beating teams like Lyon and Nice right now, which is an impressive step for us. However, the bad news is if we scroll up, PSG have won the title, meaning we now need 4 league titles to overtake their record. But let's focus on the positives. Lucas Stassen wins the Golden Boot, 27 goals for the season, beating players like Santiago Jimenez and Bradley Barcola. That is incredible. We also saw additions of Davitashvili and Mastantuono come in with 14 and 12 goals respectively. What a front line that we have. Our top assister is Davitashvili with 7, which means he got 21 contributions in the league, which is huge. But he was not the top assist maker. Carrasco came in with 9 for Lyon, which is a pretty impressive season. And then finally, let's celebrate having the most impressive keeper of the year. Gautier Lassonniere has come out as the Golden Glove winner with 12 clean sheets, beating players like Donnarumma, Perry, Chevalier and Rulli. That is crazy. What a season. And by the way, I can't believe Stassen has been snubbed for the best player in the league. Jimenez has absolutely robbed him of this trophy. But to recap the season, let's look at all the trophies. So AS Monaco win the Coupe de France, beating Marseille 2-1 in the final. AC Milan beat Leverkusen 2-0 to win the Champions League. Atalanta win 3-0 in the Europa League final versus Chelsea to bring home that European trophy. And Real Betis win 1-0 versus Panathinaikos to win the Conference League. And so a season of mixed emotions. There's good and bad. Our progression is incredible, but PSG winning another title is a big step back for us. We're going to have to jump into the next few seasons and really start to catch them, because we cannot let that get to 6 titles, 7 titles, or it'll be impossible. And so moving into season 3, this is the team. We've got Davitashvili and Gray up to 78, Stassen now a 75, a few 77s popping about, but we need to make the next step. So we're going to jump into the season, see what we can do in the transfer window, and hopefully make a big splash. And to do that, we have 30 million plus whatever we make this summer. So we're going to go really big in the market this year and try and pick up some big talents to strengthen our team. And so we moved into the 2026 summer transfer window and got rid of a few players so we could fund an incredible window with 4 new quality additions. Firstly, we got rid of Eric, our left back. 77 rated, was looking strong, but we got an email to say he'd reached his development peak, so we got rid of him to Nottingham Forest for 13.2 million. Another player that was developing slowly was Kriskiv. He was a solid midfielder for us. The Ukrainian was doing well, but we needed to bring in a younger player that would just grow quicker and make more of an impact. So Kriskiv went out for 12 million this summer. Lasonier, our solid keeper from last year, was also someone that reached his development peak, so we got rid of him for 9 million, and we will look for someone younger to replace him. After that, the other deals were all under a million. So Brian Conn, an aging centre-back, went out for 990k, and Zuzi went out for 940k, and Gauthier went out for 470k. These were all just deals with players that were never going to get game time, so we just tried to recoup that extra bit of cash to make the deals work. And then we got to work on just 4 new signings to really strengthen our team. And so firstly, we signed a new centre-back. Hoyson came in from Bournemouth for 12.3 million. This will drop Wolfenden to the bench and really strengthen not only our first team, but our rotations as well. We also brought in a young midfielder from Newcastle for 13.5 million. Isugo came in and will replace Kriskiv this season. Now, a big position to sort this season was the goalkeeper, and we went and got a young one from PSG. Stolen from our rivals, we picked up Erbig for 14.8 million. The German will hopefully solidify himself as our goalkeeper for years to come. And then finally, to replace Eric, we needed a new left back. So we went and picked up Valentin Barco. 18.8 million he cost. He was currently at Liverpool, but he felt like it was the right move to Saint Etienne and grow the team into Europe. And talking of Europe, I left a little spoiler in those transfers. I'm not sure if you picked it out, but we are in the Europa League. The UEFA coefficient worked for us. We got higher than what we thought. We thought we were going to be in the Conference League, but this just means we're in a tournament with a lot better opposition, but we can really test ourselves. However, Man City, Juventus, all in here. This is going to be such a tough situation. But to summarise, the team looks like this after the transfer window. We are really starting to look solid. I feel like after this season, we're going to have a few players in the 80s, players knocking on the door of the 80s. This is going to be a team that can really start to push for top 4 and challenging for titles. Now, we have had some start to the league. 10 games only that have gone, but we are 22 points out of a possible 30. That is outrageous. The only thing that worries me is there's a team above us in PSG, which surely means they're going to go on and win another title, which will make this even harder. But this season, it's another Ballon d'Or for Vinny. 2026 is his. He continues to be the dominant player in this career mode. Now, I just want to drop some respect for Zuriko Davitashvili, the first 80 rated player in this career mode save, paving the way for many to follow so that Saint Etienne can become an absolute powerhouse of French football. And bang, we're just over the halfway stage, and this is some start of the season. Just 2 losses. We have picked up 6 draws. If we turned a few of those into wins, we would be in an unreal position. But the best thing is we're about 7 points off top, which tells me we are not as far away from that journey of being against the best teams as I thought we were. Maybe next season with the right signings, we can really mount a charge. But for now, we are praying AS Monaco can catch PSG and give them a title race this season, because if not, this is going to be insanely difficult to get 5 league titles. And with the Europa League, we finished 7th, which is enough to automatically qualify for the knockouts. It's just nice to miss that extra game, that extra knockout tie. Beautiful. We move into the second half of the season and see what we can do in this one. And so we've had a fairly solid first half of the season with Stassin, 9 goals and 19. It's a pretty decent return. It's not his best season by any stretch of the imagination, but it will do for now. If it's keeping us in the top 4, keeping us challenging for Champions League football next year, I am more than happy. And so it's another quiet January for us. No money in the kitty, nothing to go and spend. So this is the team. And there with some serious progression. Davitashvili going up to an 82 already. Mastantuonu, Gray both jumping up to an 81, and Urbig now an 80. A few players are floating around that 79 mark, so we're going to have a few more come into that 80 rated mark very quickly, and this team is really going to start to come together. And so here we are in the first knockout stage of the Europa League. Our opponent is Real Betis. 2-0 in the first leg to us, so we have a major advantage going into the second leg. Let's jump into this. Can we go through? Yes, we can. A 2-1 win. Stasin misses a penalty, but he also scores a brace. A shame he can complete the hat-trick, but we're through to the next round of the Europa League. And so here we are in the quarterfinals of the Europa League. 3-2 up after the first leg versus Borussia Mönchengladbach. We're looking good. We're looking healthy. Can we get a result to jump into the semi-finals? A 1-0 win. Davitashvili with the result. What a game. Here we are. We're in the final four. And so here it is. It's Europa League semi-final day versus Aston Villa. We're 2-0 up after the first leg. What a start. Can we get a result to book ourselves a place in a major final? Let's jump into this. It's a 3-2 win, but that is enough. It went to extra time, but Barco is the saviour. Stasin picks up a goal as well. Let's go. We've got a big game ahead of us. And so fast forward to the end of the season, we finish in fourth, which is Europa League, probably even Champions League with the coefficient, but we will see about that. It's a shame we can't guarantee ourselves that Champions League football, but I guess we will find out in a very short period of time. But what happened at the top of the table? That is the question we need to know. We scroll up. PSG are third, all three on 76 points. Marseille win on goal difference. If they didn't win, Monaco were going to take it. So what a season. How have PSG been pipped? That is incredible. Only 4 league titles still. That is unbelievable. I can't believe it's ended with a 3-way tie on points. What a crazy season. And so, Man City in the final. Who else was it going to be? This is a big occasion. Can we win the Europa League? Bischoff sends it to the right for Archie Gray. He looks for Stasin, who moves away. Hits one early. Big strike is in. Straight off the bat, it's 5 minutes our first attack. And Stasin is deadly. Here's Palacios. Lovely 1-2s. Foden. Skip. Doku. Get straight back in. It's literally 2 minutes later, and it's 1-1. Quick pass and play. Poor defending. He drives past Mabete. It is a horrible challenge. At least through the side, if not through the back. Oh, that could have been a red. He does well, but Bernardo Silva's on the inside. Strikes it off the post. That's a close strike. Oh my God. Palacios finds Haaland. Give him that much space in the box and he will make you pay. Oh. Here's Bischoff into Davitashvili. Skips Hakimi. Oh, that is a disgusting challenge. No card again? That's attempted murder. Here's Davitashvili versus Hakimi now. He's had the better of him on a few occasions. Still does it again. Here's Davitashvili. Clips into Stasin. Rolls it under. Equaliser on the stroke of half time. The young Belgian is doing all he can to claw us back into this game. What a finish. Great play from Davitashvili down the left as well. Unreal today. Davitashvili is going alone. The defence opens up for him. He rolls it, hits the post. Creating, but he is doing that right now. Here's Palacios. Finds it through. Foden hits it with the right. It's 3-2. There's a long way to go if we're going to get back into this final and pull home a trophy. Absolutely obliterated all day long. Barco on the overlap. It's lovely play. Barco back to him. Stassen! Hat-trick! Generational talent! Whatever you call it, it's a hell of a game for the young Belgian. And it's a third goal. Oh, Man City have Haaland. And Saint Etienne have Stassen. There it is. Extra time on the cards. Saint Etienne giving everything. Man City struggling to get the result they want. Instantly, Haaland on the ball. Looks for Foden. Save. Ubig with 2 saves. Huge double save from the German. Got no options. And now Rodri releases Foden. Hits it. Good save. Can't get there. Again, Calimundo. 5 minutes left and it's 4-3. Poor defending not to recover the ball. And that will probably see the end of a very chaotic final. Is there anything left in the tank for 5 minutes? Stassen. One more twist. One more turn. Stassen released. Stassen released. I can't believe it. It's 4. 4 for Stassen. I want to say 4 comebacks. I can't even remember at this point. But if it was anything, Man City have got complacent. They put in all the hard work, but we have probably one of the best strikers in the world. He peels off Ruben Dias and slots it home beautifully. Stolen by Mateus Pereira. Bernardo Silva's been stolen off of. Mateus Pereira is doing everything in his power to go and win this. Mateus Pereira to win it. He can't. What a poor strike. And penalties it is. And so, penalties it is. De Bruyne steps up. Panenka. Cold as you like. And Barco says, if you can do it, I can do it too. It's 1-1. Steps up Calimundo calmly in the bottom corner. Lovely penalty. Stassen with his trademark. Finesse into the top right. He doesn't finesse it. He cannons it. Vuskovic hits it. Bottom corner with ease. Who will make the first mistake? Mastantuono steps up. Easy penalty. Ederson stands still. Here's Ederson to step up now. It's saved by Urbig. It is here for us if we can take it. Mateus. He pops it the other way. Now, either a save or a goal from us will see us win the Europa League. It goes the right way, but he can't get there. It falls on Davitashvili, the god of this team. He calmly slots it the other way and finishes an incredible final. This is quite possibly the best final I've ever been involved in. And Saint Etienne win the Europa League. And what a season to finish in the top 4. To win the Europa League, I think that guarantees Champions League football for us next season. This is an incredible story now. We are really on the rise. This team has done so much. Can we go and do that a little bit more and start winning league titles to dent into PSG? But let's focus on this moment. Europa League champions. And so here are the top scorers for the Ligue season. Stassen did come in with 20, which is an incredible year, but still 6th off the golden boot. Victor Gyökeres winning that one for PSG. Our top assister was Franco, and Mastantuono with 6 for the season. He also picked up 10 goals, so 16 contributions is great. But sadly, not the league leader. That goes the way of Bradley Barcola with 12. And Jonas Urbig had a fantastic year in goal. 13 clean sheets to win the Golden Glove. What a season from our new goalkeeper. And then just to look at all the other trophies. So Lyon win the Coupe de France 2-1 versus Auxerre in the final. The Champions League goes to AC Milan after winning 2-1 versus Bayern Munich. And the Conference League goes to Newcastle after beating Victoria Plzen in the final 1-0. But that sums up an incredible year. Europa League glory, top 4 finish. We're growing our team. We're really looking like a team that can go and make a push on the league right now. So let's jump in to season 4 and see what sort of magic we can cook up. And so moving into season 4, the team is really starting to kick on. Stassen, 82, the 2 wingers, 83. We've got Gray growing, Barco growing, our goalkeeper now an 81. We're really starting to look like a solid outfit, and we've got a transfer window to go with that as well. And so we have 40 million to work with. Let's get right to it. And so we moved into the transfer window and had 4 players come in and 4 go out. Firstly, sold Mujai, our centre-back, 79 rated for 47 million. Now I thought that was a bit of a high amount, but it made sense because as soon as he moved to Real Madrid, he became 84 rated. Why can he not be that good for me? Otherwise, I would have just kept him. Then we got rid of 3 rotation options. So Sissoko went out for 2.5 million as we're going to bring in a younger striker to replace him. Fumba went out for 2 million because we're going to bring in a new holding midfielder, and Pereira will drop to the bench, and then Cornard has gone out for 1.4 million as we're going to replace him with a younger option as our rotational left back. And then we brought in 4 players. Firstly is McCallum. He will cover our left back spot if we ever need him if Barco is out, and he's coming for 1.5 million. We also picked up Ali Al-Hamadi from Ipswich for 1.7 million to replace Sissoko. He will be back up to Stassen if we ever need him. And then we brought in 2 really key players for the squad. With Mujai gone, we had to bring in a new centre-back, so we picked up Diomande from Liverpool for 30 million. He had 12 months left on the contract, so we're able to get a really good deal. And then we needed a big holding midfielder. Pereira has dropped to the bench, so we picked up Kobe Mainu for 47 million to really bolster our team, strengthen us, and the core of the team is now so talented. And with that, this is the team. It is looking incredible. 85s, 83s, 84s. To think we're now in this level, this category of quality is so good to see. I'm keeping an eye on Huijsen. Maybe next season we go for a serious centre-back to replace him. But overall, I am very happy with this. And early in the year, 10 games gone, we're first in the table. We're even 4 points clear of PSG, and we've only lost 1 game and drawn 1. This is an incredible start. And shout out to Stassen, he's had a great start again. He's in the top 5 scorers in the league. Also, Vinicius has won another Ballon d'Or. Just always going to be him. Oh my god, does he just ever stop winning this award? That is back to back to back, I believe. Crazy. And at the halfway stage, we are absolutely killing it. PSG can't keep up. We're 11 points clear. We've lost just 1 game, drawn 3. This team has clicked, and finally we can start to see if we can chip in to that trophy haul that we need to collect. This is going to be a big one. Jackson has also pushed himself up to 2nd, just 2 goals behind Bonnie in 1st with 13. So 11 goals for the Belgian so far this season. He continues to be an absolute machine in front of goal. And after a pretty quiet January, as we usually do have, we do get most of our business done in the summer. This is our team. And my god, has it improved. I mean, we are starting to look like Champions League worthy. Couple of positions may be short. A centre-back, maybe a centre-mid if Bischoff can't get to maybe like an 84 by the end of the season. But within a year, I'd say we're pretty much there. We're in a really good spot. And so, round of 16 in the Champions League, I'm a bit deflated because we've got Borussia Dortmund, and they absolutely slaughtered us 4-1 in the first leg. So I think this tie is over. We're going to jump into it. Another 2-1. 6-2 in aggregate means we're out of the Champions League for this year. But we'll just continue to grow and make our team better so we can come back stronger next year. And although the Champions League didn't go the way that we wanted, the league very much has. We have 1 game to go. We are equal on points with PSG. We have to win this game to take home a title and stop PSG from continuing their dominance. And here we are, Saint Etienne versus Metz, the game that could decide Saint Etienne as the title winner of Ligue 1. This will be a huge accomplishment, and the beauty of it is Metz are sitting in 18th with nothing to play for. We can surely go and win this. Cuts it back. No serious options. Drops it off to Bischoff. Here's Segu. Bischoff hits one. It's a looper. Oh, it's perfect. Left-footed strike from range. It couldn't go anymore. Top corner. And our German youngster, who we have just grown through this entire career mode, has taken his moment. And it is a moment of pure beauty. Yara. Lancione. By Sane. In the inside. He gets it through. And first few minutes of the half have been crazy dominated by Metz. And they've taken their moment. They don't have a lot of the ball. But when they have, they've found the slight space. Diamande tried to get there. It's centimetres from being our ball. Davatashvili takes it in stride, finds Stasin. Into Davatashvili. He's through. Slot it. Bouake! It's not a pretty goal, but it's a goal nonetheless. About 5 minutes later, we get ourselves up the pitch. Lovely bit of play between Stasin and Davatashvili, but it's Bouake who picks up the scraps in the box to retake the lead. Here we go. Small. Down the left. Still going. Finds it. It's a deflection. Oh, I think that's either going wide or the keeper saves it, but it hammers in off Barker and flies into the top corner. Here we go. Bouaki's off. Stasin out to the right, and Ali Al Hamadi comes on. Can he be the hero? Looks for Stasin on the right. Finds it far enough to be Sugo. It's absolutely open for Al Hamadi. The defence have collapsed. And the substitute has scored no more than 2 minutes after coming on. Is that genius from Mr. Rebuild? Can't quite. Vergara stolen by Bischoff. Clips for Al Hamadi. The Iraqi international's through. Is that a penalty? It's at least a red card. Al Hamadi has been a nuisance since coming on. Turn the game around. Archie Gray finds Stasin. Looks for Davatashvili with an unreal cross. Davatashvili on the inside. Seals the deal. We are Ligue 1 champions. French champions. I want to say for the first time since 1981. What a moment. What a ball from Stasin through all of that area and space to see Davatashvili, and he just drags it back. And it's a calm finish to slot it home, doubles the lead, and with 2 minutes to go, we are the champions of France. The referee should blow the whistle. He's holding on. There it is! Champions of France at last! And now we're just 3 titles behind PSG, or beating PSG. Saint Etienne are back, baby. And we are here to do more than just win this title. We are here to take over French football. And so, up steps Diamande, the centre-back signing from the season, captain, lifts the trophy and confirms Saint Etienne as the league champions. And we are so back. This team is only getting better. And so this is how it looks after all that. We win by 2 points. PSG draw their final game, so we didn't need to win in the end anyway. But very happy with the outcome. We've done our end of the bargain, and now we've just got to go and do it 3 more times. Let's get into it. And it's not only a golden boot for Lucas Stassin, but it's also the player of the year. He's had an incredible season, 27 goals, absolutely vital to our success. And on top of that, we've had a couple of other additions as well. Davitashvili picked up 15 for the year to come, 10th in the leaderboards, and Mastantuono came in 17th with 11. We also had 3-star creators, Mastantuono, Davitashvili and Isugo, all done well to pick up 7 assists each this season. But sadly, they couldn't become top, with Vitinha picking up 9. And the Golden Glove goes to Jonas Erbig again, 10 clean sheets. Incredible season, back-to-back Golden Glove winner. When there's players like Samba and Donnarumma in the league, that is a very impressive accolade. And now to summarise the other competitions, PSG win the Coupe de France, winning on penalties versus Rennes. The Champions League is also won on penalties, but this time it's by Barcelona versus AC Milan to win the Champions League. Real Sociedad win 2-0 versus Lazio to win the Europa League. And Arouca win 2-1 versus Zurich in the final of the Conference League. And so that marks a pretty successful and remarkable season for us. We finally win a new league title, we've won the Europa League in the season back, we are in the Champions League again. This is only looking forward, and I have to say, our team is looking really dangerous. So let's get into Season 5, continue this momentum, and hopefully win back-to-back titles to really stick it to Paris. And so to start Season 5, our God squad looks like this. Just to look at the international players as well. Mainu currently an 87, Gray an 86, and Erbig an 85. This team has really come together and are looking incredible for a big push in the Champions League and the League again this year. And so with a new season comes a new transfer window, and we got rid of a lot of deadwood, players that we thought maybe just weren't good enough now it was taking the step to that highest level. So firstly, we got rid of Armani for 4 million. Our rotational centre mid just wasn't getting used, and we want to try and upgrade that rotation option. Nade as well was the same, about 30 years old, so we got 2 million for the centre back. We got rid of both of our rotational wingers, so Bouake went out for 2.5 million this summer, and then Old went out for 2.3 million. And finally, we got rid of our third string keeper, Fall, for 770k, as we're looking to upgrade that on the bench as well. And then we had to get involved in the transfers and try and strengthen our team, and we had a lot of money, but we didn't have a lot to do with the first team. So firstly, we did bring in one player that was going to strengthen our first team, and that was Zeno de Bast from Sporting Lisbon. 29.5 million for the centre-back. He's going to really strengthen us. Sarmiento will now come in for 9.5 million from Brighton. He will come in and strengthen our left-hand side with Old going out. Sava has come in for 9.2 million. He's going to be our backup goalkeeper. The Romanian will really strengthen us if anything happens to Erbig. We also brought in the Spaniard Serrano, 8.3 million from Mainz, and he will come in and cover our right wing slot. And then finally, we've brought in our third Ipswich Town player. They're just so good for rotations. Cameron Humphreys is such an all-rounder midfielder, and we're able to pick him up for 6.4 million. Huge addition, and will really strengthen us over Armani. And so with that, the team doesn't look all that different. We jump into the season with this really solid team. De Bast comes into the first team and strengthens our defence. But the big thing to look at here is how much our bench has improved. 78s, 80s, even in the bench now. We're really starting to look strong as an option if we need to bring any of these players on. And in the middle of this transfer window, we have a game against PSG in the Trophée des Champions. So assume this is because we won the league, they won the cup. So we're going to jump into this, see if we can win another trophy. We do! We beat our rivals to another piece of silverware. Davitashvili with the winner. And let's have a little look at this. Our first 90 rated player, Zuriko Davitashvili, has defied all odds to really grow into a superstar. He's one of the best football players in the world. He plays for Saint Etienne. and I haven't even had an email to say he stopped his progression yet, so he could get even better. And so early doors, after just 10 games, we're at 21 points, just 1 point off PSG, so we're not quite as good as we were last season, but be interesting to see what we can do with the remainder of the season. Really fast start either way, and hopefully we can overtake PSG very quickly and take hold of this league. And Stassen is cooking again, 12 and 10, but someone is holding the fort. Adam Halojek is keeping up this season. Has Stassen got some serious competition to take on? Haaland has taken back the Ballon d'Or from Vinicius. Vinicius had hogged it for a few seasons now, but the Norwegian takes the reins. However, it is very interesting to see that Stassen was nominated. I wonder how far away he was. Was he second, third, fourth? But he was up there with the top nominations. And after the halfway stage, we do have the reins. We are ahead of PSG. We're 2 games past the halfway mark, so we're really into it now. And now we have about 15 games to go and complete this. Go and confirm ourselves as back-to-back champions and really start to assert our dominance on French football. And so this is the team at the end of the January transfer window. We didn't pick anyone up. We just stuck with what we have. Barco, however, is out for 7 weeks, so we're going to have to replace him and bring in McCallum to make sure that we've rotated. But really good. Need to try and improve in the second half of the season, as we're not quite destroying them yet. And the Champions League has gone fantastically. 4th in the league, behind Real Sociedad, Arsenal and City. Some tough competition ahead of us, but really good start, showing we can mix it with the big boys. So here we are in the round of 16, and we have Napoli. We're 1-0 down after the first leg. 2 major players out, so we're gonna have to replace them. So let's jump into this, see if we can get through to the next round. I'm not feeling confident, and there it is. A 1-1 will see us out of the Champions League for another year. That means we have to go again to see if we can go and win this trophy, because we do have to do it if we're going to become the best team to ever exist in France. So after another incredible season, it's another league title. Win out by 3 points against PSG again. Solid season. That is 2 trophies now won at the top of the French pyramid, and now we just need 2 more to complete the series. Oh, and a Champions League. And look at this, 38 in 33. That is Haaland-esque numbers from Lucas Stassen. He is now 90 rated. He is still only 24 years of age. We have quite possibly the best striker in the world. Could he be taking home the Ballon d'Or this season? And we had some top creators. Franco Mastantuono got 10 assists for the year, and Davutashvili even pipped him, 13, winning the top assists award for the season. And Erbig, although he performed incredibly with 11 clean sheets, he was pipped this season by PSG's Donnarumma. 12 for the Italian means that we do not win the Golden Glove this season. Still a great campaign though. And with the other trophies, Brest win the Coupe de France, a surprise winner, but I love it. The Champions League goes back to Portugal. Sporting Lisbon winning it versus Arsenal in the final, 1-0. Chelsea win the Europa League, beating Inter Milan on penalties. And AZ Alkmaar beat Lazio 3-1 in the final to win the Conference League. And here we are at the end of another incredible season. Another title won. That is now 2 out of the 4 that we currently need. And we need the Champions League. For some reason, we can't get the wheels rolling in that competition. But here we are. We're going to jump into the next season, see what we can do, and we are going to make sure that we have an absolute God squad for this season. And now the team looks like this, but we're going to cut into it only because both of our 84s are full. They're peaked. They will not get better, or if they do, it's gonna take a long time. So Bischoff and De Bast are on the way out. Look out for that. and we are going to bring in some serious replacements. And currently we have around 67 million, and we're going to sell our players as well, so there is going to be a big budget to work with. And as you know, with a new season always comes a new transfer window, and this one was crazy. 6 transfers going out, including 2 major departures from the first team. So Bischoff went out for 61 million to Dortmund. He was a real big part of our journey and growing with the team, but he just reached a point where he stagnated, so we wanted to get him out and get in someone better. We also got rid of De Bast after just a season. However, we flipped him for basically double his money at 57 million. He's now at Real Madrid, starting centre-back with Mujai. We also got out Pereira. He was now 31, our rotating centre defensive midfielder. Needed to be a little bit younger, so we got him out for 10.5 million, and he'll just continue and finish his career elsewhere. Also, the same goes for Wolfenden, now 30 years old. We picked up 5.7 million for the centre-back. We didn't really need him anymore, so he ended up going to SAINT-ÉTIENNE. Also, when Barco got injured last season, we realised there was a big drop-off of the quality of the left-back, so McCallum ended up going out this season for 3.8 million. We brought in a big new addition to make sure we were a lot stronger there if anything happened to one of our players. And finally, we brought out Othman, our rotational, our third option striker through this entire save. 730k for him. He was 65 rated, was never going to get any game time. We thought we'd just upgrade the whole team to see if we can make sure we're stronger in all competitions. And so after those transfers out, we had to do some work in the market to really strengthen our team, to welcome our 6 new signings. So firstly, we went to pick up the centre-back, Herzog. This guy will replace Wolfenden as a much younger talent, and we picked him up for 10.5 million. What a signing for a 78 rated centre-back. We also picked up a new holding midfielder, the Italian. Lipani comes in to replace Pereira, the same rating, but much younger, so a really great piece of business there for 14 million. We also picked up Soler, a left back from Brentford. 16.2 million will offer a much better rotation if Barco gets injured. He is a great little addition on our left side. Then we splashed big for a rotation striker. Al Hamadi has dropped to our third choice. That's what allowed Othman to go. But Bravo, Ika Bravo, has come in. 18 million for the striker, 80 rated. He's going to offer great rotation if Stassen ever needs a rest. And then finally, the 2 additions into the first team. Firstly, the Dutchman, 87 rated to run our midfield. Ryan Gravenberch for 50.5 million from Nottingham Forest. And then finally, a centre-back, 87 rated, replaces De Bast fantastically. 64.5 million to bring him in. Inacio will strengthen our defence and make us serious European title challengers. And so after that window, this is the team, and oh my god, we might have one of the best teams in world football. Our front line, no worse than 90 rated. Gray 89, Mainu 91, 88s and 87s everywhere else. We are so strong, and on top of that, we seriously strengthened our substitutions this summer. This is a big one. Now it's time to go for the Champions League, another league title, really dominate PSG, because we've got a big season ahead. So what a start to the season. 10 games in, unbeaten, 24 points, but someone just has to do one better. PSG losing no games, drawing 1, so we are still behind a pretty much near perfect team. What are we dealing with this season? And Stassen has started hot out of the gates again. 12 goals in 10 games, averaging more than a goal a game again, even beating out players like Barcola and Adeyemi to the top spot right now. And so the 2029 Ballon d'Or, Vinicius Jr. wins it. I feel like Stassen has been snubbed. He has been absolutely unbelievable. But maybe we need something like a Champions League to go along with our credentials to make it worth their while to select him. And even crazier news, not only was Stassen nominated, but Davitashvili is in there as well. Surely one of our players has to get a Ballon d'Or before the end of this save. And so here we are at the halfway stage, top of the league, unbeaten so far, 45 points, but they're a PSG trailing behind us. Thankfully, we beat them when we came across them in the league, so that is why we've leapfrogged them so far. But there is a long way to go in this season, and hopefully we can keep up this form. And so, here we are. Champions League group stages. We came second. We were unbeaten. No losses. 20 points. Chelsea did pip us, but who really cares? We just got through, and when we get through automatically, it's even better. Wait for the next games now. Hopefully we can do some work in the round of 16, but a great start. And so we speed into the season. We have our Champions League games. It's 2-1 up versus Benfica in the round of 16. Hopefully we can get an easy result to go and get the result. Let's go. Come on. Penalties. Oh, that was far too close. But we go through on penalties. Humphries scores the decisive one. Let's go. We're through to the next round, baby. And here we are, moving into the next round. The quarterfinals versus Brighton. They've done well for themselves to be in the Champions League quarterfinals. But I suppose so have we. A great team here. Let's jump into this. Can we get a result? It's another 3 goals, 3-1 win. Davutashvili, Mastantuono and Stasin, all 3 of the front line getting involved. And so here we are, Real Madrid versus Saint Etienne to get a place in the Champions League final. We are playing a team that is littered with 90 rated players. They have Bellingham, Camavinga, Mbappe, Vinicius, the serial Ballon d'Or winner. But we want to win a Ballon d'Or for Stasin or Davutashvili. So to do that, we're gonna have to win this game. We're gonna jump into it. Can our boys get a result? It has to go to extra time, but our left back Barco is the saviour. This is a massive moment. We have our first chance at European silverware. And so here we are looking at the league table, and you won't believe what is happening. We have PSG on 78 points and us on 79. We're at the final day, and you won't believe who we've got next. It is a straight up 1v1 on Rust to go and get this title. If we win, we equal their trophy record. That's brilliant. If we lose, it means we have to go and get 2 more. So this is a huge occasion. Let's jump into it and see if we can get a result. Here we go. Let's get this done. Drop straight into Davutashvili's path. And if you remember that game against City in the Europa League final, Davutashvili had everyone for dinner, and he's done it again. Some little dribbler moves, gets away from Hakimi like he did in that game, took on the rest of the defense, and our Georgian master of the game has scored the first goal. 1-0, baby. Isugo finds it, Stasin into Mastantuono. He's through. He can find Stasin, who hits the scorpion kick. This kid just doesn't stop surprising us. Who does that in a game of this much importance? Stasin does. That's who. Direct drive from Davutashvili, takes down the ball, draws in the man, and that is a penalty that will surely seal the fate of this trophy. Ligue 1 will be going the way of Saint Etienne. Stasin, our talisman, he is an absolute god from the penalty spot to do his signature move, the finesse into the top right. Donnarumma goes the wrong way. And that will be it. 1 title to go. Cleared out by Kimpembe. And that will be it. We win it in their backyard. The Parc des Princes is green. And Saint Etienne win title number 3. So that takes us to 13 total league titles in France. There was a big hiatus from 1981. But in the last 3 years, we've re-established a dominant side. And now we deserve it. We deserve to be there as known as one of the best teams in France. Number 13, not so lucky for us. Now, who wins number 14? That is what this career mode is all down to. And so we have a chance at another piece of silverware. The Coupe de France here, final versus Angers. But we're not going to jump into a whole game here. This isn't pivotal to the story. We're just going to see if we can win another piece of silverware. And we do through a Stassin goal and a Mastantuono brace. This could be a treble this season. And so here we are, Real Sociedad versus Saint Etienne for the biggest title in Europe, the Champions League. Can we pick up this season? We've finally got to this stage. Good tackle from Barco, finds Stassin. Davitashvili now drives it on the inside, gets the ball through, lovely finesse around the goalkeeper, slots it underneath him, and we take a nice early lead through Davitashvili. Davitashvili to whip in, can't win it, Gravenberch, it bobbles round the box, but he's there to take the most important touch, right there in the 6-yard box. 2-0. Good start. Oh no, penalty. No, Diamandi! You cannot be serious. It's a fair penalty. And Kubo steps up, slots it in the top corner. Real Sociedad are back in this final. Mainu dispossesses in the middle, finds Davitashvili. Nice little move away from the defender. Takes it back the other way. Davitashvili rolls it under. The skill moves are unreal. He frees himself in the box. And the finish is there to match it. Barco into Davitashvili. He's breaking forward. It's tackled. That will be the end of the game. Champions League winners. And that is the next journey over. Now we just need one title. That is it. This has been an incredible journey so far. And here we are, Saint Etienne being crowned the champions of Europe at last. They were in a final in 1976, but they couldn't quite get the job done. But today, this group of lads can. We've assembled a God squad. And now we are crowned the champions of Europe. And now it's just about beating PSG to the title one more time. And so after an incredible year, Stassin picks up 36 goals, a treble, incredible goal scoring form, and in all fairness, let's look here, 16 goals in the Champions League. This kid surely deserves the Ballon d'Or now. Isugu sadly missed out on the top assister, but it was just one away with 10. Still a fantastic season. And Erving took losing the Golden Glove last season personally, comes back with 18 this year, a vital part of our success. And so, just to recap the other competitions, we've only got a couple because we were so dominant this year. Leipzig win 2-0 versus Newcastle to win the Europa League. And Crystal Palace beat Lask 3-2 to win the Conference League. So that concludes a historic year. We have done so well to win the treble, done so well to dominate the league. Now we jump into the final season and see if we can complete this career mode. And so, hopefully, what will be the last season, we're jumping into it. We've got 89 goalkeeper, 90 right back, 88 and 87 centre back partnership, 91 left back, Mainy's now a 92, Isugu 88, Gravenberch 87, and then 92s across the front line. We have an incredible team. Hopefully we can get over the line and finish the career mode this season. And we have around 91 million to get it done this year. And so we got into what we hoped would be the final transfer window of this episode. We had a lot of work to do. We got rid of 3 players and brought in 3 more, and that allowed us to really strengthen our team this year. So firstly, we got rid of Amugu. He went to Norwich for 10.5 million. We wanted to upgrade our rotational centre mid, so he just had to go out the door. We also got rid of Gravenberch. We picked him up for 50.5 million last year from Nottingham Forest. Now we've just sold him to Manchester City for 120 million, so over doubling our profits on that one, which is incredible. Liverpool. Also, we got Goncalo and Nacho in last year, but we wanted to move our centre-back out to make funds for a new signing coming in, so we picked up 121 million for him from Liverpool. And then we went and picked up 3 new signings. So Alvin Sanchez from Newcastle for 33 million to offer rotation into our centre mid. We went and picked up Castello Lucaba from PSG to weaken one of our rivals and strengthen us greatly, 52.5 million for the centre-back. But then we went and splashed the cash. The biggest deal I think I've ever done on one of these rebuilds. We bring in Jude Bellingham for 197 million, 94 rated. What an addition. And so after a fairly small transfer window, there are big changes to the team. Now a 94 in the middle of the park. On paper, our best player, but you know me, I'm biased. I'm going to be saying Stassen is the best player in the world for the rest of the save because he is unreal. But what a team, really happy. Sanchez on the bench strengthens us. Lucaba's just as good as Inacio, but is half the price. And Bellingham comes in, which is a serious upgrade. And it's finally happening! A Ballon d'Or winner in a rebuild! It's gonna be Stassen! Lucas Stassen wins the Ballon d'Or. I feel he's been snubbed for a couple of seasons, but once you win that treble and have that sort of contribution to those rewards, you have to win this title. Lucas Stassen, Ballon d'Or winner. What an absolute hero. It never looked so good. Lucas Stassen, baby. Ballon d'Or winner. And another honour. Manager of the year. It can only be one of us, and it's me. Manager of the year to Jean Rebuild. Does fantastically to get his team the treble, get them ticking this season. We're top of the table. Champions League, we're looking good. What an honour. Manager and player double in the best awards. Incredible. What a season. And so, as I just said there, we are top. We're 4 points clear right now, halfway through the year. Been able to slack off a little bit because PSG haven't been there with us, so not as much competition. But we're going to jump into the second half of the season and this January window, see if there's anything we need to do. But we're very happy with where we're at right now. Son has also calmed it down a little bit this season, but he's still top. 12 goals, top of the leaderboard. Just what you want. Maybe he'll heat up in the second half of the season, but if he wins this honour, I don't care. If we win some trophies, I don't care. Let's just get over the line and become the most decorative club in France. So, after a great first half of the season, but a quiet January, this is the team, and wow. 294. Stassen has got all the way up there. Davutashvili not far off at 93. 2 wingbacks, 92, and the only players under 90 rated are Lucaba and Diamande in the starting lineup. That is crazy. The team we've built is generational. Let me know in the comments if this is the best team to ever be made in any history of football. And so we're here at the end of the season to find out whether we have overtaken PSG, whether we have completed our objective. We're gonna have a look. Okay, so PSG haven't won it, but have we come first or second? We've come first! We've won another league title! We have won the most league titles in French history at 14, and now we are the most decorated club in French football. However, fans will always debate who is the best team, who deserves to be the best team in France. It's always going to go on as long as the question is there to be answered. But luckily I have a way to answer those questions for good. We have reached the Champions League alongside PSG. It's a straight matchup. Whoever wins surely should be known as the best team to ever exist in France. Let's get into this and see who deserves that title. Beats Barco, finds Santos, who looks for Lautaro. He crossed it. What was he doing? Here's Vitinha, into Barcola. Can he block it? Yes, he can. Can he get seconds? No, Lautaro Martinez takes the lead early. A plot twist in the series. Are PSG going to come back and win a Champions League of their own? Hakimi finds it to Stassin, who holds it up nicely, who releases Mastantuono away from Peters. The Argentinian surely has it. He does. He missed an early chance. Much easier, but he makes light of this one. 1-1 in the Champions League final. We have a chance here now. Lovely way. Asugo finds Mastantuono. He has to take it on the outside and they open his body, but slots it home nicely. 1-1. And this game is very much alive. PSG are quaking in their boots. Finds Mastantuono, who drifts from this right-hand side and finds Davatashvili. Back to Mastantuono, back to Davatashvili, who finds Stassin. It's a beautiful piece of play, and the front three combine to make an unbelievable lead. Come on, it's 2-1. There's a chance that we can confirm ourselves as the best team in French history right now. We just can't slip up. The football is unreal, tiki-taka, and then a ball across to Stassin, who is not going to miss from there. He is deadly in the 6-yard box and makes most of it. Donnarumma's foot just a centimetre away. They finds Gray, looks for Davatashvili with an outrageous ball. I would call that a crowbar because he's opened him up. Davatashvili confirms it. Saint Etienne are the best French team in history, and that is a goal worthy of it. Drives on the inside, it's an outrageous ball to him, and it's a composed finish into that top right. The Georgian makes the most of it. Donnarumma having to stare as the net ripples. Isugo looks for Mastantuono, who cuts back to the Portuguese man, who cuts it across for Stassin to finalise it. 4-1 win. Beautiful game. And we are quite possibly the best team, not only in France, but the best team to ever be formed. What a squad! And as far as Santos, the final whistle is called. We are Champions League winners for a second time. We beat PSG, and now that makes us the most decorated team in French football, and I don't even care. You can't argue with me anymore. Our team is outrageous, and no one can touch us on the pitch. And here it is, another title for Saint Etienne. Champions League glory. Diamande steps up to claim this coveted trophy for a second time. We are so unbelievable, it's unreal. Back-to-back Champions League winners. That will see the end of the series. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do leave a like, comment and subscribe. It really helps the channel to grow. If you are new here, let me know if there's any teams you want down below as well. We'll do rebuilds for those as well. But if you've enjoyed the content, I'll leave a video in the middle of the screen now. You can click on that to enjoy watching. But for now, I hope you've enjoyed. Until next time, guys, I will see you in the next one. Have a lovely rest of the day and peace out.